Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I put some feelers out and wanted to see if there was any need or want for Shopsmith tutorials, whether it was teardown or setup, that kind of thing, and I got some pretty good feedback on it, so I think I'm going to start those. So this will be number one. Today I'm going to do basically just the basic teardown of things, kind of get all the parts separated. And the model that I have, in other videos, I believe I said it was 53 model, but I got to look and this is actually a 1960 model. You can tell by using the serial number on the side of the headstock right there, and you can look that up and find specifically what year your model was made. This is a model 500. As you can tell by this here, it is a greenie. I'll explain that a little bit later. So what we're going to do is we're going to get all the parts off of this and get it down to where each part is more or less by itself. So we'll get started there and you can follow. Okay, so I'll get you familiar with some of these parts while I'm moving them around. I still have them pushed together a little bit, so what I'm going to try to do is get them separated so you can actually see what's going on. So this is the tightening screw for the table raising lever. So we're going to raise the table up and then tighten that back down so that'll stay up. I'm going to loosen this this lock screw for the headstock, slide that out of the way. Then I'm going to loosen up the actual table clamp down here on the bottom, and we'll get that a little ways away so we got everything decently spaced so you can see what's going on. So we'll start down here on this end. So we've got the table saw fence here. This is just an easy unscrewing. This is obviously for the Model 500. So back that out until it stops, and then you can lift this end and then lift the back end, and you lift that right off. Here's the adjustable fence. Hopefully you can see that. There's a little hand screw right here that you turn, and then you loosen that, and that'll allow these tubes to slide freely through these holes. So we'll loosen that and we'll lift this out and get that out of the way. There's one part. So then we've got the table here. I'm not going to tear it down too far, but I will take it off. So to take it off, you loosen the same clamp that you used to loosen so you could raise and lower the table. You loosen that, and if you notice, I'm holding this here, and then you raise it all the way up until you feel it slide. And then what I do is lock that handle down again, and then you should be able to grab this and lift it right off. With the headstock, I want to pull the saw blade off of this before I do too much with it, so we'll do that first. And that's just an Allen screw on the chuck for the saw blade, and then you can slide that right off. Alright, and I still got the joiner here in the end, and it's the same procedure for removing that table extension that we removed on the other end. I'm going to put some cross leverage on this and just reach under and loosen that screw. And then we can just lift this off. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this headstock down for now. And I'm also going to lock this table slide down. And the reason for that is I'm going to pull this lever down here. Got a little bit of sawdust in there. And with these tightened down, I can actually lift this up. So there's the screw that keeps it in place. You may be able to see in there, that goes into a recess in this bottom piece here, and that'll keep it from tipping back over. So you want to make sure that's nice and tight so that this doesn't fall back down. Alright, so this up in here, there is a set screw on both sides of this. So you want to loosen both of those and back them out. And then hopefully, set down our Allen screw, hopefully you can just lift it off. But that may not be the case, so you may need to bump the bottom with either your hand if it's not on too tight, or you can use a dead blow hammer, which I may end up doing. So I'm just going to lightly tap on the bottom side. And there we go. So from this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen that set screw to keep it upright. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to be careful to make sure both those pipes stay level so we don't get it twisting and things like that. And we're going to set it down gently on this side. And then we're going to unscrew the headstock and the table support here. And what I'm going to do, if you have somebody to help you, that's ideal. I don't have that right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide that headstock off at the end by myself. So from here we're going to loosen the clamps. And what loosening those clamps will also do is the way these clamps work is they put tension on these pipes to keep them from sliding. So when you loosen that, that'll also allow those pipes to sit center so that things slide around a little better. You may notice in the future that you'll have your table clamped down close to your headstock, and your headstock won't slide as nice as you want it to because it's in proximity of those clamps holding that together. So we're going to lift this up and slide this off. I'm going to slide it down to the end first, as far as I can. Then I'm going to lift on the headstock. And the way I do it is I put one arm underneath it, that way I've got a good grip on it. And then as I slide back, I'll move that around. You'll notice I'm holding the pipes on the back side. And then you can, if you can manage, you can hold the headstock with one arm and let these pipes down gently with the other. And that is how you remove your headstock from your pipes. So once you've got it down this far, what we'll do is we'll slide this table support off of here as well. This you can basically do with one hand on each piece. That way you can get it off of there. And at this point you're pretty much down to just pipes, the end pieces, the pivoting arm for the drill press function, and your base. You usually don't have to go down much further than this, but if you do, it's fairly easy. So if you lift these pipes back up, inside of this end piece down here, there are set screws in the bottom. So you'll have to use the long Allen wrench that usually comes with your Shopsmith and get in there to loosen those. I'm only going to do one for now so that you can see how it works, and then you can usually do it from there. And from there, just leave the Allen stock in there for now. All you have to do is a little bit of turning. You may have to do some persuading on it depending on how old it is and how long it's been since it's been torn apart. I've obviously had this one apart recently, so once that's apart, it's usually a good idea to clean out your holes, make sure that they don't have any gunk or grime in them. A lot of people use a hard wax to lubricate their pipes and other components, so that can get built up and then you have to clean it out of there. So one trick when you're pulling these top pipes out is to make sure that you put this set screw in to keep this side from pivoting on you, and then you should be able to get a better pull on it. And I recommend a twisting and a pulling action. So So once you get it out and you get things cleaned up to where you want them, it's basically just a reverse of that. So I like to line up where I put my set screw before. So I'll take the same spot and put it on the same position, and then I'll just rotate it to slide it in there. And you feel it hit the bottom. That's where I like it to be. And then you turn your set screw to clamp it back down. And that should be set. That shouldn't slide around on you too much. Alright, so that's pretty much tore down as much as we need for now. We got all the other pieces. We got the saw table support, the jointer, the table extension, and the other basic components over here, which we'll go through and break down as needed. So I think that'll be it for teardown. Assembly is pretty much the reverse of what you saw. So if you're on the assembly step of this, you can pretty much reverse the way we did it. Don't forget to remember to clamp things down if you're putting the headstock on, because you have to have the table support on first. And there should be a ring, a plastic ring that goes between that table support and the headstock, just to keep them from banging together. I'm not sure where mine went. I think it disappeared when I had everything torn apart, but that should be there just as a precaution. It keeps things from banging together, and that way you don't have to worry about damaging your Shopsmith. So I thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like if you prefer. Leave any comments down below, any other requests as far as teardown that you'd like to see, and I can see about getting those. I believe the next one that I'm going to do will be the headstock teardown. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.